Well, this is the upper garden of the Early Childhood Center. This is where we've been working for 5 weeks. We've just made some sub-irrigated planters.
So I'm Pierana Pironi, and I'm director of the College Now program at Brooklyn College. The Community Roots program is part of our college readiness program. It's a summer school and community gardening program in which high school students, college students, and community members work together around gardening and public space. We focus on weekly themes, and our weekly theme was waste and recycling. We were looking for an artist to come in to do a creative planting activity.
My name is Noel Heffley. I'm a visiting environmental artist for the Community Roots program. I was interested in working with the kids to use the arts to investigate ecology and ways of connecting to the environment. This past week we created vertical planters out of repurposed soda bottles. Take a look.
So over here we have a olive tank. We fill up the bottom of the bottle, and we suck it in the hole right here so that when we pour water, it goes directly to the plant. And we filled the olive tank with soil about halfway, and we planted plants on each side. And then we put sand in here so it kind of purifies the water.
The water drips a little slower, so it'll be gradual instead of drowning the plants.
It's going to be used by little kids because this is the playground for the little kids. So they're going to run around, I guess, view the plants and be like, oh, that's cool. I guess they're just going to view the plants. I put a message, don't pull the plants. I was going to put Dracula or something to make them say it, but instead it might scare the kids, so I just put a hand pulling the plant and say, do not pull the plants. We drew pictures on the olive containers to make it more friendly.
We put a liter soda bottle inside the planter, and we drilled a hole and made it sideways, and we put a slit in the top and created a wicking system and pulled a piece of felt through, and we uncapped the top, and then we watered through this, and it gradually waters the plant through the wicking system.
We were shown how to use olive containers to create a sub-irrigated planter. We had general ideas, so we went online and found all of these interesting designs that people have done before, and we were sort of staring at it for a while, not knowing what to do. But we figured it out and used our imaginations, and we decided to do 2 different models.
To experiment. Yeah. And don't give up.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things that you can do because they're so huge.
You really enjoyed painting them.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun because they're bigger than the bottles.
So you can create a bigger design or
Yeah,
something.
you have a bigger canvas.
What's the purpose of leaving the handles on?
So we can move them around the garden.
If you have the choice to put them up, so see they have sort of already built-in handles, and we can arrange them in whatever way we want, whether it's like a total wall where we want to do green, red, or have it all around.
Hi, we are now in the Lower Garden for the Brooklyn College Community Roots program.
Worked on 2 different techniques. We used the towering technique, and then over here we have the hanging bottles from the holes from the brick wall. They're from soda 2-liter bottles, and we just cut the top off and we inverted them so there would be a water reservoir under it.
This is called a sub-irrigated planter. We cut a hole at the top that we turned upside down and put inside, big enough for a straw. And we placed the straw inside where you can use a funnel, and you could put water in. To the bottom where the plant will suck up the water that it needs.
Our group decided to do the flowers against the brick wall because we liked the flowers and the color on the brick. We decided to do the herbs and plants over on the towers.
The kids in the building over there, they sometimes come here to play and pick leaves and eat them.
Even if you're in a small space, you can still plant using things that are reusable. Before you wouldn't think that a soda bottle, that you can reuse it in a way that you can plant it, but now I know that you can use it to plant stuff. And we thought it would be stronger if we braided the twine, and then we added a string for support, or else it would lean one way. We wanted it to balance.
The towers are different from the hanging bottles because it's all different plants stacked on top of each other. You use wire at the top to hold all of them. So I think it's a quicker way to work.
basil up here. This is chamomile.
The sand is used for the filtering of the water, so you can basically put dirty water and the sand and filter it out. What she's doing right now is she's gonna place some sand in, and here it filters it out.
My advice would be save a lot of time because it took longer than we expected.
Be careful how big you make the hole in the cap. We had a problem. We made one of the holes really, really big, and we couldn't plug it up. The water just drowned the plants.
Make sure you know what you want to do and how to do it.
And also have a good spirit, motivate each other, stay with a good work ethic, so you have to stay committed. Because sometimes the teammates might feel like giving up on the project, you have to encourage them.
It's not as easy as it looks.
Midwood Garden decided to paint our planters with bright colors and attractive things to the eye, like some animals and some birds.
Planted the beans here in the corner because we figured the beans would grow up and around, and the vines would grow right here on this wire here.
That's our water filtration system. And there's a little hole in the cap, so the water only drips out. When it rains, the water's captured because the top is cut out, and then the pink sand is going to filter to the water. So if you touch it all the way down here, the soil is a bit moist. It's a pretty way to recycle your bottles.
We cut the bottles, we punch holes here to hold up the plant. We put the top half of the soda bottle inside at the bottom, upside down. We drill some pretty small holes into the cap and also around the bottom. Whenever it rains, all the water is going to go through the soil, and whatever the plant doesn't need will go to the bottom and sit here. So whenever it does get dry and it needs more water, it'll be able to pull it up from the bottom. There's a hole here, overflow. We don't want it to be soaked. The remaining water will be able to drop out here, fall into the soil right here. And also there's a straw. We can water through here. We'll fold up a paper, roll it up a little bit like this to create like a funnel system here. And you will water, and the water will go through the straw to the bottom. That way the plant and the roots are getting the water from the bottom, and it's going to go up. That's the best way for the plants to get water is through the roots. The columns here, all of the water is going to go through the top all the way to the bottom. We're able to grow more plants in a smaller space using less soil and also using less water. It could capture rain and it holds it because there's a sand, so it won't go through so fast. We have Pacifica, the pink one and the purple ones. This one is the Portulaca. This is Portulaca here. This is the vinca here. I think this also grows up in the vines as well.
So we painted brighter colors. So if it's really sunny, the light would reflect from the bottle back, so the plant won't get too hot and the water won't evaporate.
There's a lot of sun comes to this area.
When you're planting and taking care of plants, it makes you more aware and it calms me down. You know, life can get a little hectic, and when you're just out here with the plants, some fresh air every day, get to water it, get to see them grow, it definitely gives you a sense of appreciation. We're giving someone some beautiful stuff to look at, and our tomatoes, someone can eat them one day once they're ready. Having it here next to a high school and elementary school, someone might be like, "Mommy, come to my school. I saw something pretty today." It'll make people think more about recycling and more about like creative little ideas they can do.
Gardening overall is related to environmental justice because alternative methods. You're not going to big corporations and grocery markets to buy your produce. You're able to grow it on your own, independently in your own garden. You know what's going into it. You know there's no pesticides. You know what you're putting in your soil. You know where the water is coming from. You're more connected to the food here through gardening versus you going to a grocery market and picking something off the shelf and not knowing where it's coming from. We're growing tomatoes because tomatoes, it's in season right now. We're growing kale here. We know it's going to be there year-round. We're helping the environment. We're using less fossil fuels. This space is also a great way to create community. And there's a whole bunch of other plots here where other students from Midwood and the elementary school and other community members come and garden. So we're all tied back into this. We're all creating a sense of community. We're reducing our waste. We're not having as much runoff because there's a lot of plants here to soak up the water. So we have to try to use less water. Water stays in the bottom. It's just not water being wasted.
We can actually put a container underneath at the very bottom to collect the excess water that goes through the column and then pour it back in the top, and it will filter through the sand So this can be a closed water system.
Maplewood Garden!
Thanks so much, guys.